Alright, so today we're going to be rating every hero in BTD6. So even with Geraldo and the new update and everything, the changes made to the heroes, we have all of them. So we have gods, which is at the top, kings and queens, supporters, trained enough so they might have, so like they're good to go with, maybe not the strongest though. Hard to work with, they're just like kind of hard to use, weak, not that powerful, and terrible as a very, very bad hero. Alright, starting with Benjamin. Right. So, I mean, obviously, I'm gonna put him in supporters, because that's literally what he does. He supports you by giving you money, lives, and kind of like sabotages the balloons, like with his second ability. Downgrading them all, make them more, give them more money, and also Balloon Trojan, which is pretty useful against mobs if you don't have many good talents that can pop the inside ceramics. Etienne, I like. He's not too expensive, a little less expensive than Benjamin, who's about $1,000. And here's the thing I really, really like about him, is that he gives you camo detection at level 8 on all monkeys, and my god does he level up quickly. The only reason I'm not putting him in gods is because on his own he can't like pop that many balloons and doesn't have the most popping power. Like he's only like throwing darts at them, kind of. Like sure you can get like 4 drones, like that's 4 darts being thrown. It's alright, but it's his abilities and supportive stuff when he really comes in. I'm not gonna put him in supporters because he's a little better. Listen, because he does level up very quickly. Faster than Benjamin, I believe. Alright, Adora. Adora has some cool skins I do like, and pretty interesting godlike voice lines. And you're probably thinking I'm gonna put her in gods, because she kind of is a god. She's like the daughter of the true sun god. And after all, that's kind of true. She can sacrifice people, which is a little, doesn't seem very godlike, if you ask me. Sacrificing them to make them more powerful sounds a little evil. That would work very well with the boy Dora. But my god, she attacks so well, like, especially on the higher levels. But my problem with her is that, on her own, can't see camos, can't hit purple balloons unless you use that first ability, which does give her the ability to hit all balloons, but she still can't see camos, so you might have to get a village if you do want her to do that. And if you're playing on Cub, you can also use Adora, and then someone else can use Etienne, but it's just not worth it to do that. And sure, a village can be easy, sure. This is heroes we're talking about, and Adora's really powerful. She doesn't level up that quickly, which is a little annoying, but her first ability is really strong. She's pretty good. It's a tough place to put her. Very, very tough. Since, like, some things are wrong with her, but, like, she's overall very powerful, but she just levels up to, like... Sure, you can sacrifice things to make her level up quicker, and I do that often. It costs a little bit of money, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm either gonna put it in gods or trained enough, which might seem like kind of weird options. Ooh, she's not too expensive. Kind of about as expensive as like Benjamin. Actually, no, more like Etienne. I don't want to put her in supporters. Like, she just doesn't support anyone, so I can't put her in supporters. So yeah, that's why I have to put in... I might put in kings and queens. I might do that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'll do that. A little less than Etienne, though. It's kind of sad, but I'll do it. Striker Jones. No question. Sure, he buffs bomb shooters, but bomb shooters and mortars are just not my favorite towers. And, oh boy. Yeah, I like his first ability. Second ability, maybe not so much, because if you didn't know already, the bomb shooter and mortar's ability cooldown are fast, because they're both fast attacking towers. So it's not really that good, and his buffs aren't the best. His damage is so bad, and only at level 20 is when he gets that double damage, which is kind of horrible. So overall, he's just terrible. Quincy. What do we do with Quincy? He's your starting hero. I like it. He has homing arrows, so it's hard for him to miss unless he literally misses a balloon. At level 7 and level 6, he can pop any type of balloon, which I do like. It's very good. He can pop, let's see. He can pop camos, pop lead with every third shot. Attacks pretty quickly once he starts to level up. His 2 abilities are not bad. Rapid shot does kind of last a little short at the start in the early game, but he's very cheap, maybe the cheapest tower in the game. And he's good early game, I should say, and he levels up at a decent amount. A little faster than most of the heroes on this list, besides like Striker Jones or Etienne, but yeah, he levels up pretty quickly. He's your starting hero, so he's really good. But overall, he doesn't have too much damage against like ceramics or like Moabs. He's really good against like big rushes of balloons since he has all those explosives. And when he levels up, his rapid shot makes it look like he's shooting lasers, which is pretty cool. But he's not the best against some things you might have problems with. So if you're gonna solo with him, I would recommend to use like even Gwendolyn over him. So I'd say trained enough, because he can still pop every type of balloon. If he couldn't do that, I would put him in hard to work with. Alright, Captain Churchill, the most expensive hero in the game. Captain Churchill. Now this is another hard one. He doesn't support anyone. He's powerful. He's pretty expensive at the start, but that's okay, because it's kind of worth it. He doesn't support anyone. He just does damage, kind of like Adora. Levels up a decent amount, and it's also like Quincy, where it can pop every type of balloon. And that's just all around good. His first ability I don't like too much. Like, if he's gonna get that machine gun anyways, he doesn't really need to pop black balloons with that. But his second ability shows 10 shells on Moabs. That is crazy. And it's good. I don't find myself using him that much often. I don't know why. Because he's pretty good. He's got he has a lot of range at the start, which makes him very good. So I can't put him in supporters. I want to put in trained enough or kings and queens. It's very hard to decide. His aim's not always the best, but like once he levels up like that, boom, he can pop every type of balloon, just like Quincy. So I might put him with Quincy even. I might put him with Quincy. I have to do it. Alright. Azealia. I'd say she's a supporter, but like, she sacrifices 10 lives to use that 7th ability. And like, why wouldn't you just get a village that's actually permanent, unless you sell it? But yeah, her other 2 abilities I really like. Like, the first ability stops all hearts or regrow balloons from growing. It's really useful in like round like 76. I'm pretty sure those are regrows, I think. And she can pop every type of balloon like right off the bat. And honestly, I like that. I really, really like that. It's pretty good. Moab Hex can even take down a bad. So I might even put her in gods. I don't know though, because like, she can't solo everything because she does have a lack of like attack speed. Oh, I know where to put her. I'll put her below Adora. I'll do that. I mean, she can pop every type of balloon though. It's pretty good. Now, whatever. I'll leave her there for now. Okay, we still have a lot of heroes to go through, and now I have Oben. Oben is a god. He's one of your starting heroes, so you don't have to pay for him, and it sure is worth it. So, yeah, his attacks are really good. He can see through walls. He has brambles, which you can put down, can pop camo. Wall of trees can pop DDTs, and it's a great way to pop them. Once the wall of trees pops, then you get all the money out of it. It's really good. He supports all your magic monkeys and supports druids especially. And it makes it really good with like fast attacking towers like ninja top path, wizard, all that stuff. It's really good. And yeah, he has a decent amount of damage, a very good amount of supporting. and can pop most types of balloons. He can pop leads at the start. He can't pop camos normally, but with his abilities he can, and for that, I respect him putting in the gods. Sora is also a god. So yeah, her two abilities are like probably one of the best abilities in the game. So the second ability can like deal with rounds like 63, 76. It's all pretty good. Yeah, it helps a lot. She's a very, very good early game tower by cutting up all those balloons, and I think it's very, very good. It's very, very good. And her first ability, I do like a lot. It can deal with ceramics easily, does a decent amount of damage to mobs, very surprisingly, and she attacks so fast on her own, and also that's the first ability, yeah, that can pop lead, and I like that. It's good with dealing with rushes of balloons, regrows, all that, ceramics, it's just so good. And if you put her in the right spot, like a circle or something, she can do a decent amount of damage. Like, I normally put her in, like, circles on, like, skates, cubesum, or triangles, I guess, on cubesum, yeah. And, like, also, like, corners in the map, like Alpine Run, all that, it's just really good. Alright, Geraldo. Alright, his normal attacks aren't good, but he's basically like a store for power-ups. And he's very good. His regular attacks aren't that good, though. I will say. Sometimes it does take long for him to restock in his shop, which is kind of annoying. But overall, he's a really good hero with a lot of stuff that can support you. And for this, I'll put him, yeah, right there. Gwendolyn. Oh boy. Gwendolyn can pop leads at the start because she shoots fire. She shoots like a blast of fire around her to like buff you. And her second ability does that same thing, but a giant firestorm that can set all balloons on screen on fire, including camos, which I like. But unfortunately, no matter what she does, she can't pop purple balloons. Oh boy. Her first ability, yeah, puts down the cocktail of fire, but, like, why wouldn't you just get a wizard? Like, that'd be a little more logical. But, yeah, the first ability is still pretty good. Decent cooldown. It's pretty good. She does buff your other towers. I don't want her to be above Quincy or Churchill. That's just not gonna happen. And, she's not that hard to work with, so I unfortunately have to put her in weak. Okay, she's not that weak. So, is she that hard to work with, though? Is she? Yeah, I'd say so. Because you have to put her in the right spot to get her pierce in the right way. If you just put her in a random spot, maybe she's, like, shooting off the track, missing some shots. Maybe like that, you have to put some towers around her to get supportive, all that. Unlike Oben, who does many things. So, like, even if he is too complicated, you don't really have to do anything with him. Maybe you can just put one tower next to him and you're fine. Because it's still a great buff. He still attacks are really good. So yeah, for Oben, you don't have to do all that stuff. Gwendolyn, on the other hand, can't pop purple balloons in any way whatsoever. Oben can with his abilities. So that's why he's at gods. So yeah, Gwendolyn is very, I wouldn't say very hard to work with, a little hard to work with. Sai. Oh boy, Sai's second ability when she's like at level 15 or something is really good. She doesn't level up too quickly, but overall she's pretty good. She can like stop balloons from moving, and no matter what type of balloon it is, like even if if like when she levels up, she could start taking down bigger balloons like lead, ceramics, Moabs, all that. Eventually she can take out maybe even ZOMGs. I don't know if she can take out ZOMGs. She might. Her psionic scream ability, that one is the one that puts all balloons in utter chaos. I think that's what it said. And it would freeze all of them, and it would destroy all of them. And at level like 14, 15, 16, something like that, boom, they'd just all be gone. And it's a great way to pop like DDTs, round 98, all stuff like that. It's very, very useful, I will say. First ability is alright, like there's just better things and ways to stun things. Even you could get like a top path mortar, top path bomb shooter, all that. It's a little better. Maybe even bottom path glue gunner. Like, there's just better ways to stun things. But she can see camo eventually and can eventually pop every type of balloon. She has infinite range. Is that the only hero with infinite range? I think so. Besides, like, heroes with their abilities, like Sauter, Etienne, they do have their abilities that give them infinite range. But overall, Sai's pretty good. And I'd say she's trained enough. I'll put her in between them. That sounds reasonable to me. Alright, last but definitely not least, Pat Fusty. Okay, Pat Fusty, let's think about this. He can pop leads and stun balloons. Knock them back, I do like that. But he doesn't have too much range, so you do have to put him really close next to the track. And also, his first ability, Rallying Roar. All monkeys in his radius gain more attack speed. But, yeah, here's the thing. Since he doesn't have much range, you have to, like, squeeze them really closely to him. So you need a tight space where you also have some room to put other monkeys next to him. If you use him properly, he's very good. If you don't use him in the right ways, he can be a little bad, unless he levels up to a really high level. He has some cool skins, like the Godzilla one. I really like Kaiju Pet. It's good. He can knock back mobs, and he's a great mob dealer. He's not that hard to work with. And he's pretty good. Oh, wait, no, we still have Admiral Brickell. Okay, sorry. Yeah, you guys were probably screaming at me in the comments. Yeah, so Admiral Brickell. So first, let's get Pat Fusty in there. Yeah, you really want to put a top of hard to work with or bottom of trained enough. I'll put top of hard to work with because he has such a short amount of range. Oh yeah, I also forgot to say this, but you can put Pat Fusty in water. So if you're on a map like Flooded Valley where you want to put something in the water that can help you other than just boats and submarines, you can go for Admiral Brickell or Pat Fusty. It's not like too useful, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. You can also buff your other like water towers, and I like that. So for that, I might put him at the bottom. I just might. I don't know. It's really hard. You know, I'll do it. I'll do it. Okay. Admiral Brickell. Oof. Admiral Brickell's a tough one. Her Mega Mines are good for popping a lot of things. Her mines do some explosive damage, which I like. Can pop leads. It's really good. Hang on, I want to make this a little even, so I'll put Pat Fusty in hard to work with and Gwendolyn down here, just so that all the rows are filled out. Sorry about that. Alright, Admiral Brickell. She has a pistol that does some damage. First ability makes all your water towers attack faster, and eventually give them like a free MIB, which I do like, meaning that they can pop all types of balloons. I do like that, but overall, submarines and boats, they have ways to pop all types of balloons. For example, Advanced Intel, Crow's Nest, and Hot Shots. So it's still needed sometimes to get like double shot and Hot Shots. It's pretty good. Overall, Admiral Brickell's really good. I'm either going to put bottom of gods, top of kings and queens. I'll put bottom of gods. Alright. And that concludes my tier list. Let me know what was wrong down in the comments, because this is my opinion. Just tell me what arguments you have or anything, because my god, in that T5 list, some of you guys threw a fit in the comments.